Established in 1882, the club was formed from a merger of Rochester Invicta and the Royal Engineers Band football team, and they played their first 7 years on army pitches. Following an incredible run to the quarter-final of the FA Cup in 1889, the club then moved to Maidstone Road Ground, now known as the Boville Stadium. A ground they could call their own and, most importantly, start to charge an admission fee for. The club still play their games out of that same patch of land. However, a lot has changed since then. Now, the last 7 years, the two brothers, Kieran Hake, chairman and manager, and Gary Hake, the general manager, have taken the helm and spearheaded the club from the Southern Counties East League to their highest ever level, the Isthmian Premier League. Now, the club narrowly missed out on promotion to the National League South in the 23-24 season when Enfield Town beat them in the playoff final. Last season, the club were hoping to take that next step and build on the previous season. However, it didn't quite go to plan, and the club ended up finishing 13 points outside of the playoff spots. This season serves as a new opportunity, so let's speak to Gary Hake and see how all of this journey started for him and Kevin.
Yeah, so I think we're going back to 2017 now, around sort of Easter time. I do believe that the current chairman that was in charge at the time was stepping down. Myself and my brother always spoke about how great it would be to finally return to the club and maybe one day, take the reins on it. Kev got wind about the chairman stepping down, and Kev put a proposal together for the committee and the directors, and they lapped it up and thought, yeah, what a great way to move the club forward.
Prior to this, Gary and Kevin both played for the club. Is it a time that Gary looks back on with fondness?
Very fondly. I was just starting out my late teen, sort of into adult football career, so to speak. And any youngster or two that playing for a club like this, it holds you in good stead for future football for when you're older. You play against some real good figureheads in the game. Some of your teammates are some people that have been around the game for a while that you learn a lot of experience from. So, yeah, looking back on those years, I do like to think of it as kind of like an apprenticeship, what I did here, in the fact that it tailored the way I played for the rest of my career, so to speak. And yeah, looking back on it, very, very fond memories. Met some great people, some lifelong friends, some people of which are still involved in the club themselves. And yeah, crazily enough, we still see supporters that were supporting us as players back in them days. They're still supporters of the club now, which is great. Yeah, I've got nothing but fond memories of the club.
Prior to this, Gary and Kevin's father Tom was part of the club's history and that he managed the club in the 90s. So I asked Gary what it was like being at the club back then.
At the time, I think the club felt the strain at the time, because for that sort of season and a half-ish, there was pitch works being done. So the pitch was sort of ripped up to help out with the drainage. So we didn't play hardly any home games here that season. Instead, our home ground became Priestfield Stadium and the Garrison ground up in Brompton. So it was difficult because we didn't really play that many games here, and it was kind of difficult to build a bit of an allegiance with the stadium itself as a player, which obviously you love to do. So it was a difficult time, I think, financially for the club. However, the systems that were being put in place, and it was evident then regarding youth that were coming through, that were breaking into the first team. The reserve setup was great, that they were producing players for the first team. So you could see that the foundations of the youth setup were there.
Continuing the work started by someone else is never easy, but how does it feel to be carrying the torch for the club into the future after everyone else that has come before both Gary and Kevin took over?
Especially non-league clubs, you need people to keep the torch going, so to speak. Without the hard work and the effort that goes on behind the scenes, not just on a Saturday at 3 o'clock, but without all the effort that goes on behind the scenes in the dark closed hours, clubs like this can't survive. They can't continue. And it feels great. It feels great to be able to kind of improve 1% better every single day. That's what we try and strive for. And yeah, all the work that goes on behind the scenes, it gives you that feel-good factor, knowing that you're continuing what all these great people before us, started with the club, especially what our father sort of brought into the club as well, that youth ethos. It feels great to be able to keep pushing that and continue that along, which is one of our main goals.
Now, tragically, Tom, Gary and Kevin's father, was lost to prostate cancer, a charity the club now champion alongside many others. A loss like this can sometimes serve as a major driving factor. Is this something that Gary feels has been the case for himself?
Yeah, huge driver. Huge, massive driver. I think maybe, I'm not sure if it's controversial saying this, but prostate cancer, it kind of sort of didn't appear on our radar until our father obviously suffered from it. Not something you think about as a young man, prostate cancer. You think it's just a condition that a lot of sort of ageing males do get, but obviously it's a lot more common now, and the age that people are getting it at obviously is dropping as the years go by. So yeah, it's a huge driver. We work very closely with Justin, with Paul, all the guys from Prostate Cancer UK. We do lots of charity events, throughout the year, match days, etc., tournaments, 11-a-side matches, just to raise money and raise awareness, really. So yeah, that is a huge driver. But it's just worth mentioning, it's not just prostate cancer that we work with. We work with lots of other charities as well. But prostate cancer being the main one, in conjunction with the Wisdom Hospice, which is where our father ended up towards the end of his life, and we've got nothing but respect for them, of course. So yeah, it's the biggest driver that we've got that pushes it along. And as any family that suffers from prostate cancer, you don't want it to happen to anybody else. So anything we can do, we're more than happy to help and try and raise awareness of it.
So with the club involved in so much community work, it's clear to see that this has been a focus from Gary and Kevin from the very start.
Last year alone, we delivered just under £1 million worth of community aid, so to speak, in helping people out with activities and clubs on the pitch, outside of the stadium as well. That is the one thing I'm extremely proud of, the charity work we do, the community work that we do, and putting Chatham on the map as a club that cares for the people that live around us. And I think that's very important for a club.
Last season, Chatham Town managed to average around 1,500 fans per game. But how did the club achieve this?
Our crowds are on a par with some of the steps above us, if not better. And it just shows that we're doing something right. It shows that we are hitting the right notes with the community, with surrounding supporters. It shows that we are making waves on and off the pitch as well. We get a lot of sort of ground hoppers that come down that are blown away by the stadium and by the atmosphere itself, which is wonderful. But in terms of how we've achieved it, again, it's all through our sort of community work, really. It was through a lot of the work we did in COVID. We looked after the community where we could, whether that was food parcels or welfare phone calls, anything relating to how people are doing. Straight away after COVID, we opened up the stadium and sort of got people in, got them moving again, got them socialising again. And I think all of them things, with the work we do with schools, we do lots of work experience, all that sort of stuff that we do, I think personally has led to the big crowds, the increased average attendances per game, because people, want to come down and see what it's all about and see why there's so much noise about Chatham Town in a positive way, of course. But also, I think people just want to come down and kind of not repay the good that we've done for them, but I think they just want to be part of this big family that's going on at the moment. There's a big movement in the fact that the club as a whole is becoming a big family, and that's kind of what we're trying to aim for. And everybody's welcome, of course. It's everyone's club, everyone's welcome.
So if Chatham Town the only club in the league going full-time this season, what was the driving factor from the club's point of view, and what have the benefits been already?
So the driving factor obviously is to become bigger and better than what we actually currently are, both on and off the pitch. We felt that moving across to that model would certainly help us get to where we want to be in that respect. It means that we've got more time with the players, of course. It means that we've got a more professional approach to everything we do. Again, not just on a match day, but the other 6 days of the week, we're pushing and striving for perfection in every area we possibly can. And in terms of what it's doing for the club, it's lifting everybody. You can see it amongst the youth. Even the standards of youth have now gone up. It's increased. We'd like to think that not just the first team, men or women's, but also the staff around the club, we'd like to think that they're raising levels as well, and just showing everybody in the club and around the club and outside the club that we mean business, and that we are here, and that we want to better ourselves, and we want to kick on, eventually leading to getting ourselves into the EFL.
The summer saw a changing of the guard, with captain and Chatham Town legend Jack Evans departing the club for Billericay, along with others such as Jamie Yealer and Freddie Sears. There were 12 signings in total made, with reinforcements brought in across the whole of the team. Ben Allen, affectionately known as Trialist B during pre-season, and Dapo completed the summer window after successful trial periods at the club. With that, the squad was set. Two players who have been with the club for a number of years and have played a huge factor in getting the club to where they are today are Jordy Robins and Reece Butler. Here I speak to them both about the journey so far and what they feel the future has in store for them and the rest of the team.
I think from the outset it was probably my reason for joining in the first place, which was the vision of the club. It was something that I was aware of, the management, the chairman, where they wanted to go, and fortunately over the last 4 or 5 years it's something that we've been able to actually action and deliver on. I think you could tell from the infrastructure of the club that we wanted to climb the leagues, and I wanted to be a part of that journey.
I'm a local boy. I literally grew up a stone's throw away from the ground. That park outside the ground is literally where I used to kick a ball, probably where I learned the majority of the stuff that I do. Like I say, Kev and other managers before him have put a lot of faith in me over the years. Obviously now he's made me captain as well, so I've always felt like I'm wanted here. I've never felt the ambition sort of to leave. Kev and the ambition of the club is only going one way as well, so I know that I was never going to be stuck in a stalemate of the squad. I know that the club is always going to go on to try and do better things. Obviously we missed out on promotion, but I know that he's going to keep going for that until we stop. So I think we started the year really well. We come up and then we won 5 games in a row as well, and we went on a few good runs that year. And I think as soon as we started getting to the latter stages, I think we was never really going to challenge Hornchurch. I think they were gone, so that we knew we were sort of going to be playoffs, and going into the playoffs we felt quite ready. We felt like we was up for it. We thought Horsham were probably the best side, and we knocked them out in the semis, and we thought not get complacent, but we thought out of all of the teams that we won in the final it might have been Enfield. But yeah, they turned us over. It was a tough one to take, definitely. But I think you just got to dust yourself down and sort of go again the following year with that same ambition.
I think as the season was developing, we probably started out thinking we wanted to kind of get used to the league, and a top half finish or maybe pushing for playoffs would have been being optimistic. And then as the season started to develop and we realised we had that, a very good start, we realised that we could compete in that league and try and compete to win the title, or at least get as close as we could. I never sort of felt like we were destined to win that league, but it became apparent that we could definitely compete, and if we were in the playoffs then we were in with the mix, and we started to gather a little bit of momentum. So I guess there was a little bit of that feeling, but at the same time I've been in football long enough to know that there's no such thing as fairy tales for the sake of it. You have to earn every single game, and obviously it was a crushing way to kind of the season to come to an end, but ultimately it's just part of a bigger picture and part of our overall story here at Chatham. I don't think so. Personally, you have your break in the summer to kind of get over things. I think we had a bit of a poor start. It was probably to do with maybe going in a slightly different direction, slightly different tactically, different personnel. We took some risks, took some gambles, but again, from a club perspective, it's a different part of our history that we're not used to. You have to kind of make some of these mistakes along the way to realise what it is that works at this level and in this league. And I think now we've kind of found a different way of doing things, and we've learned from success of maybe some other teams and some of the mistakes that we made along the way, and we're much better positioned because of this.
Kev's put a lot of faith in me since he's been here. And obviously now I've just turned 27, he had the conversation with me and he said that he wants me to be skipper. Means a lot to me because, like I say, I've been here since I was 16, 17, nearly 10 years now. So in terms of my leadership style, I just want the boys to be comfortable in the dressing room. I want everyone to be friends, like not just like you have a clique over there. I want everyone to be sort of bonded and everyone on the same board, reading from the same hymn sheet, you know what I mean? So everyone knows what their roles and responsibilities are, but ultimately we need to work hard as a team, and then boys who've been brought in to show their quality, they'll do it at the right times, and yeah, that's the main thing. Everyone's feel comfortable and everyone works hard.
I mean, we'll start with the statement. I think it definitely sends a statement that we want to do things the right way. We're constantly looking to evolve, constantly looking to find them small margins that can add up and make big differences. From the hybrid perspective, some of the things that I believe it will help is just more contact time as a group. I think the team chemistry, the team morale, getting to know each other, I think that is worth so many points, especially at the level we play, the sort of the non-league level. I think having a tight-knit dressing room is worth extra points at the end of the season. I think just being around each other, 3, 4, 5 weeks into pre-season, you feel like you've been with players for 3 or 4 months. So I think that can definitely be an advantage, but it's up to us as players to develop a good team spirit and do things the right way, because it's not going to happen automatically.
Brilliant so far. There's been a lot of new signings, a lot of new faces, a lot of young lads have come in, but they've settled in really well. Like, training's been going really well. The pre-season games so far have been going really well. I think there's a real bond within the group.
Yeah, I think they've got off to a flyer. I think it helps that we've got a lot of young players, so a lot of lads are in sort of a similar position. But the leadership that we've got within our team, with some of the lads that have been here a little bit longer, our captain, some of our more senior boys, I think they've created a really nice environment for lads to come in, feel comfortable, but also know that there's high standards and there's things that have got to be done. And so it's created a really nice environment for those players. And hopefully as we start the season, we'll see the sort of results of lads that are allowed to express themselves, but also do the hard stuff, work hard for the team, and that team ethic is something that will shine through, I think, in our performances, and it will be something that the fans can get behind.
Yeah, they're massive. When you're 1-0 down, but you're peppering sort of their box, and a few consistent corners are going in, and especially when they're here and they're loud and they're all getting behind you, it just gives you that extra yard, it gives you that extra bit of bite, and away they turn up in their numbers every week. So yeah, there's no faults to them. They're absolutely brilliant. They personally, like I say, they've seen my song every week, and I'm sure a few of the new boys will get their songs down the line. But no, for that, yeah, they're absolutely brilliant.
It's a game changer for us. It's cliche, but it gives you that extra little bit. There's no. We wanna make sure we give something back to those fans. It makes you run harder. It's a big part of us as a group. Talking selfishly from a personal standpoint, and they've always been great supporters of myself, and I feel like the last 5 years as the club's grown, the fan base has grown and developed sort of as we've developed and gone through the league. So there's definitely a connection there, and we're grateful for it, and we know that we can make our our home ground a fortress, and we won't take our fans for granted, that's for sure.
The club have made some amazing progress over the years and are always looking to do more in the future. Here, Gary tells us exactly what those plans are.
On the pitch, obviously our target is promotion. I think I'll be foolish not to say that. So we are striving for that, of course. Maybe some silverware along the way, a couple or two is always nice. 5 years' time, somewhere in the EFL. Not sure where, not sure what league, but in that mix somewhere would be fantastic. It really would. To emulate what clubs like Bromley have done, that sort of thing, get in amongst them lads, I think is what we're certainly looking and hoping for in 5 years' time, if not less.
We've already heard a lot about the Chatham fans, so here I speak to a handful about their journey with the club so far and how they feel the season is going to pan out.
My journey probably consists of the last 2 to 3 years. I'm a fairly new supporter, really, to be honest. It's been a fast-paced journey. I've seen quite a few changes, but everything's been positive, to be honest, really positive.
My journey started probably 2.5 years ago. Moved to the area from South East London to a new estate just in Chatham. Myself and a couple of guys on our estate, football fans, Premier League fans we'll say, decided that we wanted to try a bit of non-league football. This is literally 10 minutes away from us, so we decided to just give it a go. This is going to be our second main season here. We started 2.5 years ago, really, coming down. We first thought, coming to a new club, it's going to probably be a bit cliquey. Fans are going to know each other. Couldn't be further from the truth, really. The first game we loved it. I think it was a 5-1 win, I think, like that. A lot of goals. Went into the clubhouse after, had drinks. People spoke to us as if it had been coming in for ages. We met Gaz Hake, introduced us to Chatham, gave us some free tickets for the next game, and said, "Welcome down anytime you want to come."
One of my best friends, Gary Tilley, Chatham legend, re-signed for Chats, I think it's 2011, under Kevin Watson. Barry Adams was running it back then. Long journey, and hadn't stopped since then. I mean, back then, you could probably see about 30 people turn up to watch the Chats, just friends and family, no fans as such. But yeah, it's been a long journey to see where we were back from then to now. It's chalk and cheese.
I moved here a few years ago. Got to know a couple of the guys on the estate. Thought one day let's just go up local football, Chatham Town. We just went from there really. Started coming more and more. Turned that into away games. Group of us coming up, socialising. That's about it really. And here we are.
Everything, you know, it's, as a lot of the fans will probably say, it kind of, you build up for it at work during the week, and it can, whether the result goes good for you or bad for you, it can really ruin or make the next week really, good for you,
I mean, for me, it's not even just always about the football. Like I said, come up, socialise, see your mates, you get to know people on match days and stuff. They become your mates. To me, it's more than just football. A lot of the time, it's just getting out of the house sometimes. I've got a young kid now, so it's always nice to get out for a couple of hours, to yourself, and yeah, just hang out with your mates, really, a few beers. More than just the football.
For myself, mental health-wise, just getting out, about, and just coming down here, not even to have a drink and that really, it's just to see the guys play, catch up with friends, family that are down here. I've got the added bonus that my son now comes as well. We go home and away, he's been to a few away games, and he loves it. Command Archery up here with people, everyone's high-fiving him, fist bumping him, and he just loves that. And he asks, when's the next game? So to me, that's added the extra love for this club as well.
It's been brilliant. Since Kev took over, I think it's 2017, 2018, building blocks have really gone through now. I mean, we had 2-3 runs in a row where we got promoted. Last season was a bit of a stability, let's try and find out where we are, found our level. I think he's brought some good players in now, so I think we're aiming to go up to the next level this season.
Last few years has been a bit of a whirlwind, just since we've been coming. Obviously, we started following it just on the back of promotion after promotion. So big things were expected. And that first year, getting into the playoffs and then losing in the final the way we did against Enfield, we outplayed them. It wasn't the result we needed. I think it's helped Chatham in a way, stayed in this league, and we can build on from that. We had the Velocity Cup win, obviously, in the last minute. Not last year, before, one in the last minute with Yeela scoring was just amazing, and that grew the club again. Losing it last year in the way we did, and again in the last minute, last header by Billericay, was heartbreaking. But we take that. We had some great performances in that. For myself, a couple of months ago, I was diagnosed with kidney cancer, and I had end of May, I had kidney cancer surgery to remove part of my kidney. I've only been here 2 years, but while I was at home recovering, Gary Hake, the general manager, got in touch with my wife and asked if he could come round and see me. He popped round just to give me his well wishes and offered me and my wife any help we wanted, if there's anything we needed, just to let him know. Chatham being open all the time like it is as well, I met Mike Williams, who helped me just do some laps just to get some exercise. One day up here, Kev Hake came to me with an envelope, and then he was coming to do some training. In that envelope was a letter from Kevin and the team at Chatham, just wishing me well wishes for getting speedy recovery and hoping that I recover. And if there's anything I ever needed, again, just to let him or Gaz know. He offered me the use of the gym here at Chatham as well. And to me, just something, some people might say that as little, but to me that was huge and just shows not what Chatham are, but what they're building here. And it is very family orientated as well.
It's been a good pre-season. Played some really good teams. You like some Maidstone and Gillingham, had some good wins. I noticed that the style of football is slightly different. We seem to be playing with really attacking fullbacks, maybe not as much wingers, but fullbacks are playing as pretty much fullbacks and wingers. So it's trying to win the ball in the midfield, get it out wide, and with 2 good guys up front, I think we'll score a lot of goals this season.
Pre-season's been pretty good, and it's good to see how well Kev and Tim have got the team gelling. I suppose not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well.
I think we've had quite a strong pre-season. You know, we went to Maidstone, beat them. I do think we have had a strong pre-season. I've noticed the team just seems to gel more this season as opposed to last season. Obviously, we've gone full-time this season. So I'd like to think the players that are here at the minute will be here at the end of the season. Obviously, last season, I think we only had Freddie Sears here at the end of the season who signed in the summer. So I don't think there'll be a lot of in and outs throughout the season as there was last season. So hopefully they gel a bit more. They just look stronger, quicker, a little more up for it, hungrier. Hopefully that carries on throughout the season.
I think out of the new signings, I think Ollie Evans. I think he's come in and he's looked brilliant. You know, we had Webster on loan last season. Gilliam looks a really good player at right back. But I think with Ollie, I think he's going to take us that level up. I think he's going to get a lot of assists, chipping in a few goals, and defensively he's brilliant.
For me, it's got to be Sam-Sene Richardson. You know, I think 18 years old, and the talent within him is just unreal. He could be playing a couple of leagues above where he is at the minute. I think he's had trials teams higher up. You know, he's got everything for me. He's got pace, he's got a peg on him, he's got skills, he can control that midfield. He just does things that you watch and you go, you know, wow. And I think the team just needs to be built around him for me. He's got players coming in around him now that I think he could flourish in this team. I think for me, big things coming from him this season.
Every supporter wants goals, so I'm going to say Oldfield, Tope maybe. I mean, I can see them having quite a lot of goals, especially from set pieces as well.
There's not one you can pick. I think, again, they've picked some great players this season. You've got Reece, you know what Reece can do, you know what Henry can do. I have to say, Tope and Ollie Evans, we sponsored him. Me and a few others, we sponsored him. And that was for a reason. But I think all the way along, again, the team, they've got players in positions that are going to play for the team and play well. And again, in pre-season, we can see that. Tope comes off, Stanley comes on. Stanley's my son's favourite player already. He's seen what he can do.
I think if we can get off to a good start, that we didn't last season, then I think we've got every chance, you know.
I've got to say first, I mean, every season, like the first few games, you don't really know much. It kind of, you got to wait till it levels itself out a bit, I suppose. But yeah, I'm going to say first, winners.
Chatham to finish top.
Look, I would love to say that I think we're going to win it. If I'm being honest, I don't think we will. But I definitely believe at worst we'll be in the playoffs. And when we're in the playoffs, anything can happen. And with the fan base we've got, I think we'll go up this season.
And here's a look at some of those pre-season goals. Chatham then looked to take their good form into the annual Community Day.
As well, of course. Looks like a usual suspects lineup. Right, thanks very much everyone for coming in. It's the first time we've done this sort of thing. It's just to give you guys a bit of an insight into what goes on in the players' heads, what they're looking forward to, what they can't wait to do, and what their thoughts are of the club so far. We have got Billericay friends and partners. Cross-side Kansas UK.
After a really popular community day, the Chats run out 5-1 winners against Coventry under-21s. So pre-season has come to an end. All of the preparation was done. The management and the coaches have prepped the players as well as they could. It was now time for the season. It was then time for the first home game of the season against Ramsgate, a Kent derby under the floodlights.
On paper, you'd say definitely perfect. Rivals just down the road. We know they're going to bring a lot of supporters. I think there's only other two clubs I can think of that would be good for the first game, and that would probably be Hashtag and maybe Billericay, just so we can see Jack come out on the pitch. But yeah, I definitely think it's a great first home game, without a doubt. I mean, the atmosphere always plays a part in this place. I mean, you're so close to the pitch. I'm sure, I spoke to the players, they could hear everything we say. The biggest thing about today is trying to match Ramsgate's noise as well, because they bring a lot of supporters, a lot of noise. So hopefully we can match them and be louder than them. I think and I hope it's Tope. I mean, he's got so much pace, and I think he's going to bag us a lot of goals. And to get a goal in his first home match would be unbelievable for him. And I know everyone in the crowd's going to go mental. Okay. 2-1, Tope and Sam, let's say. I'll go for that. I'll be comfortable with that. 3-1 will be even more comfortable, but I'm going to go for 2-1.
Following the final whistle, I spoke to one of the fans, Jason.
First half was pretty terrible, really. No idea of what they were doing going forward. But second half completely different. Kev must have given them a good rollicking at half time, because they come out and they were a completely different side. Smashed it, really, didn't they? 4-0. We need a good FA Cup run, and we need a bit of luck with the draw. We always end up getting a team that's like higher up, National League South. You know, we need a good bit of luck. Yeah, we needed that today. We needed that after the Folkestone. We needed that win, that amount of goals as well. Because the last couple of games, although we won a couple of games before Folkestone, we weren't great. You know what I mean? So that would give us a boost today, and hopefully get a good draw in the second round.
The second round draw would see Chatham travel to Ashford United. After 5 games, Chatham see themselves sitting 6th in the table after recording 3 wins, 1 draw and that loss to Folkestone. There's still a long way to go, but the start has certainly been a strong one. A strong academy is a real benefit to any club, but even more so to a non-league one. Here, I speak to Tim and Alex to find out more about how they have overseen success in producing talent through their academy programmes.
Yeah, so the day-to-day role can change literally every day. From terms of them being in the classroom or out on the pitch, you know, there's always something going on. But yeah, the role as head of academy, looking after the coaching side of the club, which, you know, we've got a sort of philosophy we want to stick to. So there's a pathway for all the players that know how we play. So sessions every day. So we're currently at 110. So we've got BTEC students here, A-level students here, and we also run a personal training course. So across all 3 courses, we've got good healthy numbers. We're looking to try and expand and bring more courses and opportunities for, you know, plus 16 to come and do. I think it's great for the community, for starters. You know, a lot of the players want to go on and play for our first team or go pros, but through this we've seen many students go to universities, you know, get jobs in a sporting background. So I think it's really important for clubs to, you know, give the opportunity to young players, you know, 1, to carry on playing football, but 2, to, you know, grow and get into the big pad world, really. Yeah, it's really a home from home for the academy students. You know, we've got PlayStations in there, pool tables, so on their downtime they absolutely love it. But we try and create an environment here where they love coming. You know, I think that's really important. We know a lot of students won't like the school element, but we've just got to try and make it as, you know, as comfortable as possible in terms of they come here, they enjoy it, they want to be here. And obviously we know the football's the carrot. You know, we know they want to come here and play football, or they've just stay on at a 6th form. But the fact that we've got such an impressive facility behind us, it really does help them, you know, come here and want to be here. We've got some great staff here. You know, the coaches, all the academy coaches are great, and also the tutors here. You know, we try and make sure that we're progressing these players on and off the pitch. So we want to keep expanding, we want to keep growing. We've got a fantastic base at the moment, but we want to try and keep making a pathway through to our first team, through to other first teams, men and female, and try and produce more homegrown players. That's one of the most important things for us. Also, just keep producing good people. You know, we want them to finish this course, you know, and go on to something and make something of themselves in life. So that's probably the most important thing. But the plan is to keep growing, keep expanding, and yeah, give a good pathway for all of our players.
I've been at the club now this is my 3rd season at the club. Previously was here for a period, the first time back when the club was in step 5 for a little bit. Moved away and did a couple of different things, and then it came full circle to come back in with Tim in a full-time capacity. And yeah, my relationship with Tim and Kev is kind of the reason why I ended up coming back to the club. Day to day, so I oversee the training matches for the under-19 scholars that we have at the club. We've currently got 75 boys at the club, give or take. I might be slightly wrong on that number, around that. And then also I oversee, coach, manage, however you want to dress it up, for the B team, under 23s team as well. developing young players goes without saying. I guess that's the answer for everyone who's in my role. But yeah, just seeing boys come through, play for the first team. Obviously, we've got a nice little production line through now. We had a treble-winning team last year, to which 4 or 5 of my boys are now part of the full-time programme with the first team, with the contracts that the boys have got there. Obviously, Sam-Sene Richardson, Kieran Quarrington, who play regularly for the first team, are both from our youth team. You had Ike Orgy, who was obviously a regular before he went to Gillingham, and obviously Harvey Broad at Coventry. So there's a nice little production line. It's satisfying. It's at the end of the day, it's up to the boys, and whatever they do in their careers is down to them. But it's nice to know that you've played your little part, and even if it's 1 or 2 things that they've taken from you, then that's satisfying for me. Success for me is as many boys through the door of the first team at the end of the year. But obviously, last year we managed to get 4 or 5 through. You don't always get that many through. We had a good group last year. If we can get another 2 or 3 deals with the first team, there's 1 or 2 that I don't want to put too much on that are being looked at by clubs. So if we can get another player onto a club, then it carries on that production line of us producing pros out of this academy. And look, listen, I don't care what people say. Yes, it's about development, but I want to win as well. If you can breed winning and development into one, you're not going to go far wrong. We won 3 trophies last year. I'd like to do the same again this year. Look, that's not the be all and end all. If we win no trophies and I get more first team players through, then it's more of a success. But why can't we have both? Do you know what I mean? So.
Next up in the FA Cup will be Deal Town at Hine. But before that game, it was straight back to the league with a game against Cray Valley. After 8 games, Chatham sit third in the league, keeping up with the early pace setters Brentwood and Folkestone. Next up was the big one, as Chatham travelled away to Tonbridge Angels, fighting to make history and make the first round of the FA Cup for the first time in 97 years.
Absolutely buzzing, massive game, massive for the club. Obviously it'll mean everything if we get through to the first round proper, especially with the chance of it being televised. So yeah, absolutely buzzing for it.
I'm buzzing for today's game. You know, I mean, it's a massive game for the club, huge opportunity to get into the first round proper. We could meet some big teams coming into the cup at that stage. Play former Premier League teams. We'll get someone like Gillingham at home. There'll be a massive crowd here. It's a massive chance for the club to reach a huge stage of the cup.
2-0 Chats.
Take that.
Up the Chats.
I'm going to go for a tight 2-1. You know,
nice.
they're the league above. You can't, discredit that. It'll be a tough game, but I'd go with a 2-1.
Following the win over Tonbridge, the club held an FA Cup draw watch party, with players, management and fans all coming together to find out who they would face next.
Yeah, I think so. I said to the lads at half time that for the last 20 minutes of that first half we were much the better side. We started to get our patterns going, we started to move the ball a lot quicker with a lot more intensity, and I think we all sort of knew going in at half time that we was definitely going to get at least one, and I think we was all confident that as soon as we got one that we was going to go on and win the game. Still a tough game, and like I say, last 10-15 minutes was tough, hanging on at 2-1 before the third goal, but yeah, no, I think going in at half time we knew that they were there for the taking.
Oh, it was the best away day I've had at Chatham in the nearly 3 years I've been here. The FA Cup buzz around it was just amazing. From the moment we got here, 11:30, like even my son and there was other kids here, were just buzzing for it. Everyone, there was singing going on from the moment we all walked in. Everyone got on the coach that Gaz organised for us, and it was just a positive atmosphere like throughout. Everyone was just confident throughout. We got there and the noise did not stop from the first minute to the last minute. We was in one of the stands. We also had Tonbridge fans with us. They had a drum, we had a drum, and it was just brilliant. Even when we went 1-0 down so early on, the atmosphere and the confidence still between the fans and the players, as you saw, was just unbelievable. When we got that third goal in the 96th, 7th minute, wherever it was just panorama. There was tears. But there's people, obviously, I've only been here three years maybe. There's people who have been supporting this club for 20 years, and it meant so much to them. And it meant so much to us, but to see them crying as well, it just showed how much it means to everyone involved with Chatham.
No, not quite yet. Like I say, it was only a couple of days ago. I've been at work. I was at work Sunday and at work today, so I haven't really had time to just sit there and just sort of appreciate what we've done. I mean, it's a big thing for the fans. It's good that they've had something to celebrate as well. Like I say, 97 years of not getting there, so it hasn't quite sunk in yet, but I'm sure it will. Oh God, they were. I can't put a word on it. It was outstanding. Literally from the moment we won that game in the ground. Hats off to people. Even though we were celebrating a win, people cleaned up, put the rubbish away in black bags and tidied up after ourselves. Even after that, in fact, win. But then we got back here and the celebrations just carried on. But to have the coaching staff and the players come over to us and celebrate with us for as long as they did was just amazing. And I think, speaking to people on social media, it still hasn't sunk in, and I don't think it will until after today's draw. But you just can't put a word on it. It was just out of this world. Before we were just trying to stay focused, obviously going 2-1 up, and they're a good side. They last 20 minutes they really stuck it on us, especially after we went 2-1 up. And then we sort of just sat in, knew that they was going to bombard our box, and we just had to defend it well, which I think we've done really well in large parts. And then as soon as we got on that breakaway, everyone was just screaming to Dapo, go to the corner, but he's got a bit about him, so he decided to go for goal, and that was unbelievable. And then everyone running and being able to celebrate out of our fans, and they travel in numbers week in, week out, so it's nice to give them a really proper moment. And then you turn around and all our bench are running over, everyone just going mad. It was quality. Yeah, it was good. Amazing. I've said on social media, I said even pre-season, there's something happening here that's just different to previous. I know they've gone full time and you expect it, but they're performing as well. It's just not, you don't expect it full time to just click like that. With the amount of outgoing players we had, to what we've brought in, and they've clicked so well, and the performances, like Saturday was the best performance I've seen against the National League team. You couldn't have asked for a better performance, going 1-0 down, and then what they did was just amazing. And they've got not just the town, but they've got other people further afield that are cheering on Chatham, just social media and that, people just cheering them on and following the route that they're on. See, we've been talking about this in the change room, obviously, naturally, as you do, but I'd quite like a Medway derby with Gills. That would be good. I've got a lot of mates at work who support Gills and go there week in, week out, so that'd be quite nice for me. But A lot of boys are saying like Bolton away, like them big ones, Cardiff, Bolton, saying them ones, but yeah, for me it's Gills. Gills, I'd say at home.
It's a tough one because the team, Kev, Tim and the whole squad, they deserve that big stadium game away from home. They deserve to play an ex-Premiership team. Cardiff, you've got Oldham, Blackpool, Bolton, all those kinds of teams. At the same time, you want one of them to come here to witness the atmosphere that the whole of Chatham can produce. It's a win-win situation. I think if we can get a team like that, home or away, the atmosphere until that game on the 1st November, or when it will be, there's going to be such a buzz carrying around with it.
Number 28. Number 65. Number 1.
Number 54, that is Buxton at the national.
Number 74.
At the end of October, Chatham sit third in the table with games in hand over some of their nearest rivals. So Chatham exit the FA Cup after making history along the way. It took a wonder goal to knock them out in extra time, but now the focus returns to the league.
Yeah, and Jack Evans is going to probably take this. Yeah, that was
who will try and break his duck for this season in league goals. He's got Nathan Harvey to beat. Chiruli scores! Goals are the fifth highest scorer with, I think, 90 goals. Obviously no one's going to catch Freddie Clayton. And Billericay come again, they shoots and scores! It's Johnson! Well, it was very untidy in there. It was a searching ball from Scott, looking for the run from Hockey. It's dealt with by Cooper and cleared. Long clearance looking for Fadahunzi. It's dropping nicely for him, and there's a scramble there, and the referee's blown his whistle. He's going to send Ryan Scott off. Under the cosh with 10 men. Ola Bodie shoots. It's a penalty. It was a clearance from Johnson. It hit Evans on the hand, but he knew nothing about it. He wasn't even facing the ball when the clearance. Shoots, he scores. Bottom corner. Very well executed penalty. And Chatterley Evans again, who's just outside the box. Anokie Boadi crosses it. It's a good cross. It's missed the goal by inches. It was spooned up.
After 2 cup games, attention turned back to the league, with an away trip to Lewes and a chance to add another 3 vital points to the league total. A tough start to November was replaced by a successful progression in the FA Trophy and Velocity Cup, before finishing off the month with 3 wins in the league to take them 4th with games in hand over most of their near rivals.
Jump off, Reece, get some depth! Yes, Cheney! Good ball! Go on, Toad! Yes! Well done, Reece! Yes, well done! Well done, George! Don't mind it, what on, Bucks? Good. Be more positive. Sure. Every fucking time. Come on.
Following that 4-0 win over Burgess Hill, I caught up with Tim during the week to discuss his role in the first team and how he has found the past few seasons, including how he feels this one has gone so far.
Yeah, it's been a really good transition so far. I think it really helps with the link between the academy and the first team. We want to promote youth here. We want young players to come through at the club. So the fact that I get to get eyes on the youth team players every day and work with the first team players, it's really easy to integrate. So yeah, it's been a really great start so far. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, I think it's a great achievement for Harvey to come from this level to get a move to a championship club, and he's doing really well there. He's settled in well, and they like him a lot. And the fact of the likes of Sam and Kieran, it just shows that there's a good pathway here. You can do well in the academy and move on to our first team. Yeah, both boys know the club's DNA. They know that we're hard working on and off the pitch, and their transition's been really good. Both players, we've got a saying here: if you're good enough, you're old enough. And both players have come in and done really well for the first team, and they've impressed. It's not easy. It's an environment where we want to challenge and do well. And both boys know through being their time at the academy, although it's about development, it's a result based as well. We want to try our best to try and progress those players, and their next transition from an academy player to a first team player is finding how to win. So yeah, it's been a good transition, and I'm proud of all three boys. Yeah, it's a really competitive league. Anyone can beat anyone on their day. A lot of good coaches in the league. I think the instruction of Y Scout, VO, a lot of teams will go out and do their homework on opposition. So every Saturday or match day, you're going to be in for a tough game. So it's just planning, planning, preparing right, and giving the boys the best instructions we can to, try and get a positive result. Yeah, I mean, the club do want a pathway here. We want to see young players be able to progress, whether that's male or female. We want to try and give them a pathway into men's football or women's football. So yeah, I mean, we've got a younger model now, so we are a bit more on the front foot. We want to try and make players feel uncomfortable when they come here, and I think it's especially in this league, if you give good players time, they're going to hurt you. So we try our best to try and make them feel as uncomfortable as possible, and play on the front foot. And yeah, ultimately, youth does help you. It helps you try and get after teams more with higher intensity. And I think one of the biggest things was, Saturday to Tuesday, this league, as you've seen from the last few weeks for us, Saturday, Tuesday, it does help having, a slightly younger model to, compete with the load. Been a massive benefit, going from just touch time really on a Thursday, because a lot of the games you play are on a Tuesday. So to have them sort of at least 3 touch times during the week has been a huge benefit, not just for, myself and Kevin, but for the players to understand the message. And for us to get our message across. So it's been a massive benefit, and the fact that we've slightly brought in younger players, they've got a great opportunity here to train more often, and I think that's it's benefited the whole group. We've now got fitter players, and players that are going out with a bit more information, and yeah, it's been really helpful. Yeah, we really set up the team to have a clean sheet mentality. Everyone works. All 11, from the front to the back. We make sure that we're a hard team to beat. We had a couple of, recently sloppy performances in terms of defending, but it's, we're going to keep working on it, try and improve. But yeah, really, really proud of our defensive record. We've just got to keep it going. Still a long way to go, but the early signs are really positive. Yeah, I mean, we're delighted with the start. We had a lot of change in the summer, with personnel, changing our model. We're pleased to see where we are at the moment. The club's highly ambitious. We want to try and kick on. You want to challenge towards the top end of the league, but so far so good. But as cliche as it is, we are trying to take it one game at a time. We know we've got a young group, but the great thing about this group is they're really adaptable. They want to learn, and they want to win games of football for Chatham Town.
I then sat down with Gaz to find out his thoughts on the season so far.
I think it's been great. I think from a supporter point of view, I think this season's had everything. It's had cup runs, it's had big moments, some great goals scored, huge crowds as usual. So far as a season, I think it's been fantastic. And dare I say, if the season finished tomorrow and we look back on the season, I think we'll be happy with what we've achieved this season, that's for sure. But look, there's still so much to play for still. Long way to go yet. Yeah, I think your initial month for the season, August is massive, but when you move into the festive period, December, where the games come thick and fast, Tuesday, Saturday, not just league action, but cup action as well. We've also got quite a large number of home games now, which we unfortunately didn't have in November. We've got a lot of fixtures around Christmas as well, with the 23rd, of course, versus Bromley. Big game down there, big crowd coming down for that one. Obviously, FA Trophy this coming Saturday. So December is very important. It is important for a number of reasons, I suppose. Footballing wise, it's a chance for us to maybe make up some ground over Folkestone, for example, and start clearing our fixture schedule. But if I was going to talk about things off the pitch, then it's equally important for the club as what it is for the community, really, especially around this time of year. Gives people a sense of belonging, gives them a place to come and be part of a family, which they wouldn't normally get in those sort of middle months of the year. Christmas time, I suppose, is the time for giving. Obviously, Wisdom Hospice, who are our partner charity, a charity very close to mine and my brother's heart, of course. We just felt that we always want to do more, especially around Christmas time. Everyone feels generous around Christmas time. Look, as a club, I wouldn't sit here and say we didn't need the money. Obviously, we do. Any club needs entrance fees and gate receipts and stuff like that. But we just felt that we really wanted to dig deep and do something very kind around that time of year. And obviously, we'd love to help all the charities out, but Wisdom Hospice being our main partner, and that's the one that we decided we wanted to sort of donate the money to. It's been brilliantly received. Everything we do for charities all throughout the year is always well received, but I think this one is really touching a lot of hearts, maybe because it is Christmas time. But I think people are thinking, do you know what? It's going to be a huge crowd. Bromley, big club, coming down. And let's not forget that Bromley have agreed to it as well. They've agreed to obviously donate their share to the Wisdom Hospice as well. So as you can imagine, it's been picked up by the media, and once again, it just echoes the wonderful work we do with the community. And what a great set of people the Wisdom Hospice are as well. I'm going to answer this in two different ways, I think. As a supporter, I will be looking to the likes of the goal scorers. Ben Allen has come on. He's like our modern day Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, where he comes on and scores a few goals as sub. And I think players like Cian Moynes, he's chipped in with a few important goals. The work rate of players like Cian Garlinge, Sam, Adam Levers, Jordy, all the stuff that goes under the radar that you don't necessarily see. But for me, I especially looking at it from a point of view as someone involved in the club and not necessarily a fan, I would suggest people like Henry, the clean sheets Henry's kept, the penalty saves that Nathan's done, the solidarity of Reece and Sid and Coops and Alex Giles at the back, all that sort of stuff. The clean sheets for me are massive positives. Gives you a foundation to really build on. So for me, I'm going to say the standout players have been the defenders and the keepers. But from a fan point of view, without a doubt, it's the strikers. Key, absolutely key. If you look at, look at the Premier League, for example. Look at the teams that have dominated of late. The Premier League, you're talking your Man Cities. Look at the depth of squad they've got. They're not just a starting 11; they're a starting 16 or 17. Any one of them can appear in the starting lineup. But with the success of the cup runs that we've had, depth of squad, rotation of squad, however you want to word it, is key and it is important. And without that, I don't quite think we would sustain the season and be as successful as what we are. All the lads that are coming in, the new signings that have been made, they're all performing brilliantly. The young academy lads that are making first team debuts are doing a fantastic job. They're seamlessly fitting in. The new signings that we brought in start of the season have been brilliant. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of goals have been scored with the new signings that have come in. And your regulars, your reliable players, your Reece Butlers, your Sids, again, they're just performing brilliantly. As we move into the winter months, we've got some big away days to do yet, that are more than likely going to be midweek. It's depth of squad is everything, really, if we want to keep going the way we are.
Sammy, head up, head up.
Following the full-time whistle, I caught up with midfielder Sam-Sene Richardson to get his thoughts on the game.
I think we've done very well. Controlled the game for large parts of it. Very clinical, even though we could have had a few more. But yeah, we've done very well tonight, I think naturally, obviously, you're going to look at the table, like, it's a natural thing to do. But yeah, I think one game at a time, keep ticking off 3 points. Obviously, we've gone 3 wins now, 3 clean sheets, so it's looking positive at the moment, so hopefully we keep this run going. To be fair, I think the squad thrive off it. Going Saturday to Tuesday, obviously it's going to be mentally tough, physically tough, but yeah, the boys cope with it really well. I think we've done very well. If we don't compare ourselves to others, I think we've had a good season so far. Obviously drop points here and there, that's going to happen. When the good folks in the team are doing so well, it's tough because they're not slipping points at the moment, but when they do, we just have to capitalise, and I'm sure that will happen. Firstly, the Cheshunt game, that'll be quite a tough game, I think. They're a decent side, tough pitch to play on, but hopefully we'll do the same as we've done today. And then yeah, the Dartford game, that'll be nice, big derby. I know last season the crowds were really good here. The support this year has been unreal, it's unreal every year, so hopefully that carries on. Well, not hopefully, I know it will. So yeah, keep it going. Let's bring the noise up the flipping chats.
On Friday the 19th of December, Chatham Town held one of their regular sponsor breakfasts, where the club bring all of the club sponsors together for a bite to eat, an update on what is going on at the club, and a chance for them all to network. Following this one, I sat down with Mike Chandler, who sponsors a few of the players at the club this season.
About 5 years. Yeah, I've known Gary for a long time. We used to play football together. So Gaz is a personal friend. Saw what they were doing up here, and me and a few of the friends decided we'd come up and watch it. And yeah, the football was great. You can have a beer beside the pitch, and a real community, family environment that we really enjoyed. It's just nice to feel that you're giving something back and just be part of something that's sort of, you know, evolving and has got a great feel around the place. Mind blowing. From coming up here and playing cup finals up here, and knowing what the pitch was like, what the infrastructure was like, to now, it's a totally different place. It's just a good vibe. There's a can-do attitude here, and yeah, we just wish them all the best. Yeah, we'll carry on all the time. Business allows us to. We'll carry on, and yeah, I think their hope and aspirations is to get to the league, and if we can be part of that journey, then we'd love to.
The club are always looking for ways to innovate, so in December a brand new product was launched alongside Baller's collection, Chatham Town's very own trading card collection. This collection includes personally signed player cards and costs £5 per pack, with 6 cards in each. This provides yet another revenue stream for the club, and another great way of engaging with their fan base. And even some of the players.
Chandler again. Wow. Solid selection.
Go force it! Brilliant, Simon. What a ball, Ben. Get ready to jump! Get ready!
The end of December leaves Chatham in third position in the league, firmly in the mix for the playoff spots. They also have a tasty fixture lined up against Carlisle in the fourth round of the FA Trophy. But before that, the team head away to tabletop in Folkestone to try and knock the leaders off their perch, even if it's just temporarily. Before the league games continued, I sat down with Kieran, the club sports therapist, to find out more about his role at the club as well as his thoughts on the season so far.
I think the amount of time that I've been at the club it's been fun. It's been really fun. Seeing the club grow from the small level that we were at Skeffel and all the way up to where we are now, and building up on those trophy runs and stuff like that. So it's been nice to see. Be a part of it as well. I think that's the most pride I take out of it is the fact that I'm quite a big integral part of not the success but the club building itself, and it's nice to see and be a part of it. From those Skeffel days, didn't really want to take a step back from the previous club I was at, so I went from step 4 to 5, but pushing forward on now, it's definitely the best decision I've made, especially going full time here as well. So I've got two main roles. With the first team, I cover the medical side of things. So I run the medical department for the men's, the women's, and the academy sides. Basically, making sure on match day everything's all covered in terms of the players and also the crowd safety as well. Same with the women's side, making sure that we've got someone to cover the women's games if I can't be there, and also make sure that all the rehab is up to date and things like that. I have some people that work not below me but work with me. They're really great to have. They're a great asset to the team, and we make sure that we're all singing off the same page and making sure that all the players are ready to be fit and ready to go, be it that 21s, women's or men's team. So in all honesty, it makes life a little bit easier because you haven't got to match the loads within training. You're never really going to get the same amount of loads in training as you are on a match day. So the fact of having Tuesday and Saturday really helps with the fitness. There is that element of making sure that players are under more load, so there are more chances of them becoming injured. But because I've been at the club for so long, and we've implemented a really good warm-up system, really good recovery system that we've got with the players that they follow quite well. We don't tend to have too many major problems because we try and nip it in the bud before it actually does become a problem. It's more the problem with having match days on Tuesdays and Saturdays is the more knocks type things and the more contact injuries. We've been quite lucky, touch wood, not to have many muscular injuries. But yeah, the contact ones, they're things you can't control. They're gonna happen every week, no matter if you play once a week or twice a week or 4 times a week. They're gonna happen. They happen in training as well. So yeah. So my day starts really early. So I'm here probably about 2.5 hours on a home game before the meet time. I incorporate myself closely with Gary, the general manager of the club, because as I said, it's not just the players I look after on a match day, it's also the fans and things like that. Unfortunately, we've had to put that into place last season. But yeah, talking through emergency things, hopefully it never happens, but as long as we're planned and in place for that. Then I set up the players, the nutritional stuff, so they've got their own water bottles with their own precision hydration drinks that help us out, and then also help the pre-match. So then once the boys start arriving, there's loads of tape-ins, there's loads of massages to do, and just making sure the boys are prepped. And then we'll move out into the game and game time's the easiest bit because you're just sitting there and waiting. Hopefully no one hurts themselves. The less busy you are during the game, the better. But you can't always beat getting on the pitch, and especially if we get to Wembley, then I'll definitely be telling a few of the boys to go down and get those photos done. So yeah, definitely. I think the boys always know that we're here for them, and I put it out to them, like, if there's anything they need, and if it's big, before it becomes a big thing, let us know early. We're here for them as much as they are for us. So we want to help them as much as we can with a longer term injury. It takes a lot of toll. Probably about 70% of injuries are to do more mentally than anything else. So making sure that Sam was ready and waiting, being away from the main group, we try to incorporate him with the main group as much as possible. Then you also have the other the other part of that as well. If he's been around the group too much, then he feels like he can't go out and do what the other boys are doing. So it's a real balancing act. But the support systems that we've got, that we've had to help with Sam, his GoFundMe page, his insurance that we've worked through, the partnership with Kim's Hospital as well. Now, like, there's lots of things that we are doing to help the players and make things as easy as possible. If he was on the NHS, he'll probably still be waiting for his scan and a surgery. So he's had his surgery now. He's had his time, a little bit of time away, but now he'll be back. There's nothing better than that player coming back on the pitch, scoring a goal, and you just feel as proud as like you've scored the goal, really, even with the little injuries as well. To have as many players available as possible. If there are injuries, limit the amount of time they are out, and then also basically make them as fit as they can be. So, as you've noticed, we've probably scored a few more goals than a few more people that towards the end of the games, because we're full time now. We've got that balance of the fitness and the technical side of things as well. Like, it's all been laid down quite nice and early, and we're just keeping on top of that, really, and not letting anyone slip in the professional standards. The whole mantra of the club is to make sure that we're always working. Nothing's good enough for us, really. Like, if we finish second, we'll be disappointed, but if we win the league, we'll still be disappointed because we want to win the league by more, or we'll all be preparing for next year and make sure that we run it as a National League South, National League club, so that when we do get to those places, we're good to go. And the aim over the next year and a bit is to push that into league status.
3 huge games for the team are up next. 2 league games, followed by that 5th round tie at home against Southend United. Following the 4-0 away win, I met up with Gary up at the stadium to get his thoughts on what the rest of the season might have to offer.
I think it's been brilliant, considering where we were probably this point last season. We didn't have a lot of good results last season, I would say. We've had some massive victories this season already. We went away to Tonbridge, beat them. There's a trip to Wembley possibly on the cards. We've got a massive game next Saturday against Southend, after beating Carlisle already, which was massive in itself. We're up there, second in the league at the moment, just behind. We're trying to catch Folkestone. I think we're definitely bang on for the playoffs as it stands. We're still in 2 cups as well, so I think big things could happen this season. You've got to believe. They were uncatchable at one point, I would say, but then you look last season at Dover. They were flying. Everyone thought, they're bang on for the title, and then they fell off. Only just made playoffs last day of the season, I think. So, they're going for a wobble themselves. Folkestone, we've got 3 games in hand. To win them, only 3 points, I think, 3-4 points behind them. Who knows? I know they're getting their star players back, but who says we can't do it? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I mean, I said at the start Sam, I think, would be one of our most important players. But I've also got to give shout outs to Adam Levers. I think in that midfield, I think he runs that midfield really well. Doesn't have many bad games, I would say. And also Matty MacArthur as well. We signed it. He came in October, and he's already. I think he starts a lot of games already, and even then he comes on and makes an impact. He scored some big goals already. Scored the winner against Carlisle, massive, brilliant free kick. But yeah, I'd say Sam, Adam Levers, Matty. I'd say 3 players that have probably stood out for me personally. And I mean, that's a tough question because a lot of games we're playing really well, but there's games where you see players with the ball and they might be 20, 25 yards out. Especially on a rainy pitch, just shoot. I think there's been games where they've tried to walk it in too much, and then you've had games where we beat #6-0. I think our first 3 goals were peaches from outside the box just because they had a shot, and then the next game they go back to, rather than shooting, they want to pass or they try a tricky pass that doesn't work. You think just have a shot. That's where the goals come from. You don't score if you don't shoot.
The end of January sees the club sit in 3rd. Folkestone have opened up a 19-point gap, but with Chatham having 4 games in hand, that gap could be reduced to just 7. All is still to play for, and the team are very much in the promotion race. The club are keen to give back to their local area, which is why every Thursday at 12 PM, staff and academy players all head out into the local community to help clear and clean up pathways and roads. Not only that, but they also give out free matchday tickets to local residents and businesses. So I decided to pop on some gloves and join them. I then sat down and caught up with Gaz on why Community Hour is so important to the club and also what has happened since our last chat back in December.
So it's about spreading the message of looking after your community, looking after the area that you live in, be proud of where you live, and hopefully that can spread not just from our football club, but it can spread into the community. We're trying to bridge gaps across generations, so myself as a member of staff, we get the academy students involved, which they enjoy. We see lots of the older generation out while we're picking it up, and we get nice compliments off of them. So it's about spreading the word of being proud of where you live. And lots of people can say they're proud of where they live, but how do you actually show how you're proud of where you live? Well, in my book, you show your proudness by looking after the environment that you grew up in, that you habitat, and making sure that it's nice, it's well cared for, and just giving a little bit back to the streets that you sort of grew up on, really. Last few months' results. Well, obviously we started off the year fantastic, beating Carlisle in the FA Trophy, of course, beating Folkestone away, which was a fantastic result. Yeah, then we sort of went on a bit of a low after that. Yeah, I think so. It's a habit. Winning's a habit. Certainly being unbeaten is a habit. And I think, like I say, I think we're sort of starting to turn the corner on that now. And as long as we can keep the momentum going, keep players fit, keep players away from suspension, of course. If we can get a settled team, which we've got, then I think, yeah, come the business end of the season, we'll be there. We'll definitely be, playoffs, in and around the playoffs is what we're after. I think we'll do it. I think we'll manage it. Well received. We're starting to see the benefit of it now, because it's enhancing the supporters' experience, and that's what it's all about. Being involved in a football club, whether you're a home supporter, whether you're an away supporter, it's about having a great experience at a football club on a match day. And we think that with the elevated positions that you can view the pitch from now, it is enhancing people's experiences. I think the supporters are really going to start benefiting it now. Now the sun's come out and the sun's starting to shine. We only get one sort of dark spot in the stadium, but all where the new stands have been done, that's where the sun hits directly. So hopefully the supporters can bask in the sunshine whilst watching us pick up 3 points. The cliche of being the 12th man, etc., the extra voice off the pitch and so on. Our fans do get behind us, and the players do appreciate it. The players do acknowledge it. They can hear it on the pitch. They'll openly admit that, the players. All of our supporters, they love the players, they love the squad, But yeah, it's we just want the supporters to continue to get behind us, home and away support us, not just at the Bowerville, but support us away as they have done. The away support has been incredible this season. More to the point where we've gone to away grounds and we're outnumbering home supporters 3-1 almost. Again, which is fantastic to see, and that just shows the love that supporters have got for the club. So that's great.
picking up just 5 points from 6 games in February, Chatham dropped down to 4th in the league and see their rivals close the gap on their playoff spot, as well as Folkestone increasing their own gap to 23 points. 11 games are left in the season and everything is still to play for. With 5 games to play in just 14 days, the fixtures are really starting to pile up for the Chats.
If he's taking the throw in that break, turn on his toes, finish, drop off, and you take the ball.
Good boy, Toe, boy. Come on, James. Come on, James.
16 points from a possible 18 sees Chatham hit top gear in March and places them back into third with a 6-point cushion to Dartford, sat in 6th. The semi-final loss to Tonbridge Angels in the Kent Senior Cup was the only real down point in March, but now the focus is on the league with just 5 games left to play. I caught up with Tony, the first team goalkeeper coach, and Jordy Robins to chat about the season so far and how they are preparing for the final 3 fixtures.
It's been a long season. It's been a long season. A lot of games we've played, gone well in the cups as well, trophy in the FA Cup. Obviously done well in the league, and we'll just keep pushing on. Let's finish as high as we can. That's all we can do. That's a big question. I mean, we've had some really big games. I mean, Carlisle, Southend United down here, been massive games. Probably, I'd say probably Buxton. They're a league above us in their region, but to go there and it was a really difficult game. And we're kind of disappointed we didn't get nothing out of that game because we played well on the day. And it was a good experience for the lads, good experience for us as coaches as well. But they was probably the most impressive team I think we played this season. I think it's been a long season, so some of the players are a little bit fatigued, trying to balance things out. Obviously, all the teams now know, we've all got so much information on each other because we're at the end of the season. So at the beginning of the season, lots of teams we didn't have information on, and likewise they had no information on us. So it's probably just balancing itself out now, and that's why it's getting a little bit more competitive. Last few games, everybody's sort of trying to fight for the last few places for the playoffs. But we'll just keep going, see where it gets us. Just the same as we would for any other game. It's just to take it one game at a time. I know that's an old football cliche, but we'll just take it one game at a time. We've got to do the analysis, train well, make sure everybody's fit and not carrying knocks and injuries, and just try and relax the players. Really, it's just again, it's nothing new to them. They're used to playing in front of crowds. It should be 3 games we've got left, 2 at home and 1 away. So the 2 at home should be decent crowds, I'd say, and then hopefully we can just get in the playoffs and take them there then. That'd be fantastic for the club. I've been here for years now, from the Scaffold days. So to see the club grow, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well, is amazing. And all the work that everybody does, the volunteers, the coaching staff, the gaffer, everyone's just, they've got it in their soul, to push the club on. So the club will get there, whether it be this season, next season, it will get there. Eventually, it will get there. It's like a real life game of Football Manager for a lot of people, and we're just going to keep going and finish as high as we can and do what we can to get there.
Yeah, I think the boys are feeling positive. We've obviously been tested a little bit the last week or so, but I think we're made for that. I think we're excited that we've got an opportunity, and it's a clear plan. 3 games, we've got to win them all. It's still in our hands, and the mood in the camp is still good. Out of 10, probably an 8, 8.5, I'd say. I think overall I've had a good season, been consistent. Look at the goals I set myself with the management and stuff at the start of the season. I think that's been a positive. The last 6 weeks or so has been a bit frustrating with the 2 big black eyes kind of knocked me off a little bit, and then getting suspended kind of put things to a little bit of a pause, but I feel like I'm back and ready to go now. So yeah, overall I think I'm pleased with it, but I'm not content because we've got a big, month left of the season. I wouldn't say fatigue because we've got a big squad and we're fit guys. So I don't think it's fatigue. I mean, any season mentally has its challenges, and you've got to control like the ups and the downs of the season. But I'm not sure. We had a little bit of a tough month off the back end of some big cup runs, so potentially. But I definitely wouldn't put it down to excuses. I think a lot of the time there's been some fine margins. I look at some of the games we've lost, and I honestly don't understand how we've lost some of them. But that's football, so I certainly wouldn't regret those cup runs or anything like that. And like I said, we've still got a lot to play for, and it's still in our hands. I've not really thought of it too much like that. I mean, I think I guess it's easy to kind of view it now as like a free game, like pre-playoff. We're focused all the time anyway, but it certainly makes it easier to look at it that way. Starting with this weekend's obviously a big one. We want to get back to playing our fluid stuff, getting our performances back to what we know we can be, and if we do, and when we do win these next 2-3 games and get ourselves in, we'll certainly be feeling confident and a nice bit of momentum going into the playoffs. Yeah, I think it will be a huge benefit and advantage for us. We're always grateful that we get to play in front of our fans, and even when we are going through sticky patches, they stay with us anyway. So I know that the next 2 home games, I think there'll be big crowds, and especially when it comes to big moments, having to dig a little bit deeper, it's definitely easier being able to do it at our stadium. Yeah, I certainly do. I don't think I'd look too deep into teams that finish in certain positions and all that sort of stuff. We've finished second and lost in the final before, so I don't. Yeah, as long as we're in there, and we'll be feeling good, feeling confident, and ready for whoever we play against. I think we're battle tested, and I think that some of the big games that we've had over this season and big crowds we've played in, big occasions, cup runs, playoff type scenarios, I think it's definitely battle tested us, and we'll be feeling positive as a group and ready for it.
With that, Chatham welcome Wingate and Finchley to the Boville Stadium in the first of their 3 remaining must-win fixtures.
Today, Ash?
4-0 Chatham.
So you're still 4-0 even though you said they're going to score first?
I changed my mind.
Chase, what's the score going to be?
4-0 as well, smash them. I'll say 3. 3-0. Bit more 3-0. A bit more reserved.
Got some Mexicans and tones in here today.
All sing play.
Chatham end the season with 3 straight wins, scoring 12 goals in the process, securing a playoff semi-final tie away at Billericay Town. And so the season ends with a hard-fought 3-2 defeat to Billericay. Following the loss, I spoke one last time to captain Reece Butler about his thoughts on the game and the season as a whole.
Yeah, obviously, like we were just saying, I think we gave ourselves too much to do. I think 3 cheap goals we gave Billericay. And then after that we sort of dominated the game, and then obviously when it went to 3-2, I think we all thought that we was going to at least get one more, if not 2, and then from that I think we should have had a penalty. We hit the post and they gave clear one off the line, so I think it was just one of them where it weren't going to happen in the 90 minutes, but if we probably didn't make the mistakes in the first half, I think we would have at least got to penalties with them. But yeah, it weren't to be. It's gutting. I think all the boys were gutted after, but we know that we can just go again next year. So. Do you know what? It didn't feel like it was, because you know when you get games like that and you just can't find the back of the net, but that weren't the case. And we was making chances, creating chances. It felt like we was going to get there, and obviously in the end we just run out of time. I think we left ourselves too much to do, too little time. Yeah and no. I mean, they always have an organised side, and like you said, they're a bit of a bogey team for us. I think we've beat them once since we've been at this level, 6-2 when we was here, and once in the cup. But apart from that, they seem to always get the better of us somehow. Not for the ones who try, because I think there's not many times when we've played them and I thought that we've come off and we were the worst team, but that's football, and I think the more organised team normally wins the games. But again, it's just cheap goals and not taking our chances mainly. Yeah, absolutely. I think going into it, obviously Kevin's team went with a whole new model, went full time, a lot of a younger team. So I think our average age was about 23 years of age. So for them boys to learn and develop to what they are now over the last year or so, from pre-season to where we are now, I think that stands us in good stead ready for next season. I'd call it a success. Our cup runs were so memorable, and they're memories that will live in a memory forever. So I think it's a success on that front. Obviously we wanted to go up, but the main objective was to get playoffs and have good cup runs, and the main thing is that we're ready for next year now, in terms of we've had a season together, we know what we're all capable of, so it's another season of learning and ready for next year. I had a meeting with Kevin Tim at the end of the season, and they said well, pretty much the same question: how do you feel this season's gone for yourself personally? And for me, this probably been my best year of football, in terms of how I've played this season and in terms of the changing room and the things that we've achieved. But yeah, personally, I think it's been my favourite season. I think I've played my best football this year than what I have in any previous years. I'm getting to an age now where I'm probably looked upon from the younger players, and it's something that I enjoy, and I think I've done an alright job at it, to be fair. So yeah, no, it's been a good season. I enjoyed it. For me, I can't wait to get back out there. Even after that game finished on Wednesday against Billericay, I didn't feel like I should stop turning up to training, stop playing matches on a Saturday. My routine went out the window and everything. I'm ready for next year. I'm already looking forward to it. I'm getting married next week, so obviously I'm going to have a bit of time off and go on our honeymoon and stuff as well. But yeah, no, I can't wait to get back out there, and I think next year will be another memorable year for everyone involved. My message to the team has just literally been hold your heads high this season. I think what we've achieved, like I said previously, what we've achieved this year from going from a new model and such a younger side, I said you should all be so proud of yourselves of how well you've held yourselves this season. So we're coming up against seasoned sides and seasoned players who have played this level for years and years, and you lot have come in and shown everyone that we're the team to beat, really. I think everyone's come off the pitch this season thinking, bar Folkestone maybe, that we're probably the best team in there. So I said to them, be proud of what you've achieved this year. I said, it don't stop there. I said, this is just a start for us as a team. And the message to the fans will be the same thing. Stick behind us, boys. Stick behind them young boys, because next season will be again another memorable year. Hopefully more cup runs, and we'll be going for the title next year for sure. And them boys will be ready and they'll be up for it.
It was then time for the end of season player awards, a chance for everyone to come together and recognise some of the amazing performances and achievements by this team.
for by our supporters. Was it close or not? It was very close, I've just been told. Results are just in. Okay, so our men's supporters player of the season goes to
Reece Butler.
Sorry, I just want to say one more thing. Last thing I want to say is I want to thank Sid Nelson. I want to thank Jordy Robins. And I want to thank the one and only Simon Cooper. Without them three boys, us lot would have achieved what we've done this year. So I'll tell you what, you fans and the staff, but most importantly the players, you've lot are giving me like memories I've never had before in football, right? And I said to you after the Billericay game, can everyone be quiet, please? Getting up now. I said to you lot after the Billericay game, I said to you, I put you all in a huddle, and I said, you've made me so proud to be your captain this year, and genuinely from a man to each and every single one of you, I thank you all for your hard work from June up until this time now. You've all been here through thick and thin, right? You've all worked so hard all the way through the season. You should be so proud of everything you've achieved this year. We didn't get over the line, but I'll tell you what, next year we fucking will.